Just stop for a moment and take a look at this. This is how we imagine Tibet. And with the completion of the Qinghai-Tibet Railway, protecting this is of the utmost importance. Today on Rediscovering China, part 3 of our 3-part series, we're going to take a closer look at the environmental measures that the construction workers and engineers have gone to keep this exactly the way it is. With such a fragile and unique ecological system, this is of the utmost importance. How could they not want to keep this beautiful?
In 2004, a movie focusing on the rare Tibetan antelope made these precious animals as recognizable as the panda, giving us more insight into these endangered animals' lives and the hunters after their abdominal fur. The movie Coco Shali became famous on a worldwide scale.
The Tibetan antelope are an endangered species, unique to the Qinghai-Tibet Plateau, where they are illegally poached for their abdominal fur. Now, the protection of this is of the utmost concern for the constructors. What they've done is made 30 passageways, mainly trestle bridges, along the railway that will allow the antelope to go through during their migration season. This way, they don't have to go up over top of the railway and be endangered. Here is a monument marking the environmental protection and how important it is to the railway. Right now we're at about 4,500 meters above sea level, and as you can see, it's snowing, so very unique.
Every June, the Tibetan antelope expecting their offspring travel through the Coco Shali to give birth. Traveling along the Chumayo River and onto the Zhuonai Lake, the site of the antelope can be seen amongst the mountains.
在2002年6月份，可能就6月上旬吧。但是我们也是刚开工，以1个多月不到2个月时间，这大量机械啊，人员都在山上在干好抢工期啊。
突然有一个职工，就是也是咱们的环保，咱们工地上有环保监督员呐，他就拿着个望远镜，一看，他说：“哎呀，这是个什么景象？怎么那么多？”
Before coming to Tibet, the construction workers were educated about Tibetan antelope. Reasons as to why the antelope gathered in the terrain had not yet been investigated, and scientists knew little about the gentle creatures.
我都在那聚到一大堆不走，还看着那来回跑，很着急那个样子，又来回跑，是咋回事呢？他也不知道。 哎，好多职工就是你拿着望远镜看看，我拿着看一看，大家都很惊讶，都很哇对这个事情感到很惊奇。
The construction site is close to the Chumayo River in the Coco Shali. It is situated directly in the area where Tibet antelopes pass during the migration season. Weibei Bridge and Chumayo Bridge were designed and structured particularly with the antelope's migration in mind. Even with careful consideration, it seemed that the Tibetan antelope were not adjusting to the human presence on their path. The railway looked strange and intimidating to the Tibetan antelopes. Due to the large amount of metal used and previous fear instilled by hunters, the light reflecting may have resembled that of a gun. causing the antelope to be scared even if they long to pass onto the Junai Lake. June is always the busiest time for members of the Suonandajia Protection Station. With much attention paid to the antelope, the migration problem was apparent, and finding the cause simple. Going under a bridge exposed to the noise of machines is not necessarily a big deal for livestock. But the case with the Tibetan antelope is different. They are fragile and sensitive animals, and anything strange will easily shock them, causing them to run away. With the ecology of the Tibetan terrain being so fragile, maintaining the vegetation in which all living animals in Tibet depend on was of the utmost importance. The particular route of the Tibetan antelope is guided by the areas containing a certain type of grass the pregnant antelope depend on for the nutrition they need. Due to the harmony of nature, this path must be kept and the grass must be protected so as not to disturb natural course. Facing the noisy railway and machines ahead of them, the antelopes could only wait, hoping the distraction would soon end. With construction work of the railway planned to take 6 years, this was an obvious problem. Members of the protection station decided to talk about the Tibetan antelope with the railway department. They brought forth a suggestion which gave the department a big surprise.
能不能停工？我说停工，你不是开玩笑啊，是不是？我能停多长时间？能停到藏羚羊过去。
哎呀，来回的跑，就是横着来回跑，着急呀、着急的那种镜头以后，让人看了心酸呀，让人看了心急呀。第二天早晨做出一个大胆的决定，为藏羚羊停工让道。
Suddenly, all the work stopped and silence once again resumed. Though the deadline for completion was fast approaching and the weather now most suitable to work, the construction workers felt the care for the antelope were more important. Upon waiting a while, even though the construction was stopped, the antelope didn't move. But this time, instead of the noise being a problem, it was the color of the flags that scared them. In order to relieve the antelope's fear, the workers decided to take away all the flags. Although man could afford the temporary cost of silence along the Chumaya River, man could not afford to disturb the peaceful migration of the antelope. The antelope's hesitation brought compassion out in the workers. They felt the suffering of the sensitive animals. Finally, after some time, a brave hero emerged. The antelope climbed up and down over the roadbed. Then, with a simple nod to his companions, indicating safety, 2 more antelopes crossed, and soon the whole herd followed. These 6 days will be remembered in the sacred land. Though people did not celebrate it, it was marked as the festival for the Tibetan antelope and all living things in the plateau. From that day on, herds of Tibetan antelope can be seen passing through the Chumaya Bridge soundly every June and August. With engineers and workers constructing the Qinghai-Tibet Railway with a green concept in mind, now lies proof that with a little patience and dedication, harmony amongst man and nature can be kept. The Tsuona Lake is a famous sacred lake in Andwo, Tibet. The headquarters of the Qinghai Tibet Railway prioritized environmental protection and ensured the railway construction did not disturb the lake. When I went to Tsuona Lake, I could see remnants not far away of the measures taken to ensure that the lake had remained unpolluted.
这是2003年了进入的错拉河这个地方，当时我们用了259000条那个编织带，负责就是搞什么东西，就是摆到这一沿线过来以后哈，防止在施工过程当中的泥土和沙石滚落进那个错拉河里面。
These 2,000 bags became a protective barrier dividing the construction site and the lake. Because of it, the workers' reputation became well known, and the site of the Wall of Bags was given the name the Great Green Wall of Environmental Protection. Tsuona Lake has managed to stay clean and clear, as the trucks and workers of the railway have become a part of the past. However, the success of this one project does not mean environmental protection was achieved along the whole line.
关于这个，公布了我们国家要修青藏铁路这个之后啊，就很多科学家，国内外科学家都有很大的这个担心。其中这个比较突出的一个议论呢，就说这个今后青藏铁路呢，从南到北，像这个像一个刀一样，把这个原始的青藏高原面划了一道，形成一个这个不可磨灭的这么一个伤疤。
A year ago, flags of all colors could be found hidden amongst the land everywhere. They were waving not only to encourage the workers, but also to indicate a visual sign forbidding anyone to destroy the grass. Those who did any damage would be charged a fine.
So we've managed to come across a grassland area. If you look behind me, you can see that they've built the railway. Rather than destroying all the grass around the railway, they've cut it all in pieces and moved it over here so it can still grow and be green. Upon completion of the railway, they moved everything back in order to maintain the habitat, to keep everything balanced. If you look behind me, you can also see that the farmers are still there. Everything seems to still be in harmony, which is a good sign, showing that the environmental measures they are taking are working. We're very happy to see.
A metaphor about the fragile ecology of the plateau states that if you dig a pit in the plateau with a spade, the pit can still be found 50 years later.
因为我们青藏铁路呢，所通过的这一区段呢，都是青藏高原的湿地。我们这一段通过16.85公里，那么这些草皮呢，是青藏高原很宝贵的资源。在建设过程当中，我们呢先把这个草皮移植出来，放到一些指定的区域，然后安排我们的施工人员定期、不定期的对草皮进行浇水养护。我们共移植了28.6万平方米的草皮。大家在现场能看到，我们所移植的草皮现在都全部存活了下来。
The Tibetan antelope and the Qinghai Tibet Plateau have accepted the railway. It appears to be a part of the landscape and part of Tibet. Now that it is completed, there is no division between the man-made structure and its natural surroundings.
beside me to my right is the Tuotuohe River, which is the main headstream for the source of the Yangtze River. Now you can see the railway goes straight across the river, and it's called the Tuotuohe Bridge, coincidentally. Now the monuments here are actually to signify the environmental measures that were taken to protect the wildlife here and the very fragile ecological system. If any of these grasslands or plants were to be disturbed, it would take a very, very long time to bring them back to their natural habitat. So it's very important.
The Qinghai Tibet Plateau is called the roof of the world. It is said that many mountains and rivers in China originate in the plateau. The Qinghai Tibet Railway goes through 3 nature reserves: the Sangjianyuan, the Kokoshili, and the Qiangtang Prairie. There are majestic snowy mountains, beautiful sacred lakes, and the mystical source of the 3 big rivers here. The natural beauty, the varying terrain, and the culture of the North Tibetan herdsmen integrate well together, providing an atmosphere of pure serenity.
For those of you wanting to travel to China's top tourist destination, the luxury train is the way to go. In only 48 hours, you can go from Beijing to here, the Lhasa railway station. Now, the train is quite luxurious. The deluxe cars have their own private bathrooms with showers, and the walls are windows, so you get a full panoramic view of everything. To compensate for the high altitude, they've put in a central air system that'll supply oxygen, and each passenger does have their own oxygen mask, so it's not a problem. So not only can we come to Tibet much easier, but we actually get to do it in style. How fabulous is that?
The Qinghai Tibet Railway is open. In order to take a look at the interior of the train, we went to the factories making the carriages in Qingdao, the South Locomotive and Rolling Sifang Company, and the Sifang Bombardier Power Rail Transportation Equipment. Inside, we find the carriages meet all our needs with comfort. There is a 550-kilometer section of frozen land which the railway must cross. With much snow covering the tracks, an automatic snow melting system had to be designed and installed. Thanks to the advanced technology of the new system, the station, the train, and the control center are all linked together as one. Now, there is no need for someone to live up in the harsh climate, such as workers or switchmen. The environmentally safe train will soar itself through the snowy mountains safely.
Well, China's done it again and impressed the world with the world's highest altitude railway, starting in Golmu, Qinghai, and coming here to Lhasa, the capital of Tibet Autonomous Region. The Qinghai Tibet Railway is completed. With better accessibility, there'll be an improvement in tourism, more import and export, and a more prosperous Tibet. Today, we're going to celebrate the conclusion and the completion of the railway and take a look at a historical change for Tibet's future.
At this moment, the whole world was paying attention to the small town called Golmu in Qinghai, China. At 11:05 a.m. on July 1st, 2006, the first train in the Qinghai Tibet Railway set off to Lhasa from Golmu.
这条路通了以后， 它是一个青藏两省区各族人民盼望已久的一条这个幸福路、通达路、开放路。
At the same time, the train from Lhasa to Lanzhou was about to make its first journey as well.
它开辟了西藏走向文明、迈向现代的历史新纪元，可以说是一个金光大道。
这条铁路啊，凝聚着中央几代领导的心血，也凝聚着几代铁路人的奋斗奉献。我觉得这个是一个大喜事。
So now we're kind of left wondering how the lives of the Tibetan people are going to be changed. Well, the railway will bring them things such as better education, better health care, building supplies to have nicer homes. Basically, their lives should improve quite a bit. Not to mention the fact that they'll be able to travel a little more freely, not only through Tibet, but around China. They're going to learn new skills, as well, a whole new way of life.
Lhasa 以西宁作为核心点，把格尔木做一个基点，从这3个地方扩展出去。
拉萨现在提出来呢，大力的发展这个高原的这个特色的人文游、生态游，这个还有呢民风民俗游。
Chinese people have been dreaming of the Qinghai-Tibet Railway, a dream that has carried on for over a century. In 1641 AD, when the Tang Dynasty's princess Wanchang took her long journey to Tibet, she could hardly have imagined the convenience the future holds for her same journey back home. When the Republic of China was born, uniting the whole country was of importance for the future. Mr. Sun Yat-sen planned to build a plateau railway that would stretch all the way to Lhasa. Unfortunately, at that time, the country was not peaceful and his dream not able to come true. In order to transport goods into Tibet, the central government used 30,000 camels. Due to the obviously treacherous journeys, people wondered if there ever would be easy access into Tibet.
Of the railway will bring many benefits to Tibet. There is no doubt that the daily lives of the Tibetan people will be changed. Standing on the stairs of the Patella Palace has never been easier, and the Chinese government is proud of their great accomplishment and to be able to bring the world to Tibet. That's the end of our program for today. Thank you for watching our series on the Qinghai-Tibet Railway, and we look forward for you joining us next time. Take care. We'll see you later.
这个 西门上镇。